Hip-hop artist Meek Mill is taking on America's criminal justice system. It's a mission that he shared with us at the table last year. Mill launched the Reform Alliance in New York City yesterday, and he's getting some high star-powered support, including from a fellow musician, that's Jay-Z, and an NFL team owner, that's Robert Kraft. The group says they want to fix what they see as a broken criminal justice system. The alliance says millions of parolees are trapped by harsh sentences for minor violations like the one that sent Meek Mill to prison back in 2017. Well, after his story gained national attention, Mill says he had no choice but to be the face of a movement that he hopes will bring people together.
I've been on probation since the age of 18. I'm 31 years old.
Musician Meek Mill's voice is a familiar sound in the hip-hop world, but now he wants to use it to change the criminal justice system. Flanked by a group of very high-profile supporters, Mill announced the launch of the Reform Alliance.
Every time I started to further my life, every year or two, it was something that always brought me back to ground zero, and it was probation. And I always wondered what happened to the people that was in situations worse than mine. I'm here to speak for the people who don't have a voice.
In 2017, Mill was sentenced to serve 2 to 4 years in state prison for a minor probation violation after a decade-old gun and drug possession conviction. After public protest and legal appeals, he was released after serving 5 months.
I'm like one of the lucky ones.
I never felt more powerless than watching kids that I cared about get outrageous sentences when I had gone to Yale and seen kids doing drugs at Yale. At worst, they would get rehab. And I would see kids in the hood doing fewer drugs getting 20 and 30-year sentences.
According to the Reform Alliance, 4.5 million people like Mill are currently on parole or probation for unreasonable terms. Their mission is to dramatically reduce that number by changing laws and policies.
This problem is so much bigger than Meek that fundamentally our criminal justice system is just broken.
The alliance is backed by a $50 million pledge from rap superstar Jay-Z and other prominent figures, including New England Patriots owner Bob Kraft and Philadelphia 76ers co-owner Michael Rubin. He was instrumental in Mill's release.
People always say to me how lucky Meek is to have me as his friend. I look at it exactly the opposite. I couldn't feel more fortunate to have Meek as one of my closest friends because he's taught me so much about a world I didn't understand at all.
I'd never been to jail before, and going there and seeing him, I didn't sleep the rest of the night. We can make America better if we really cure this problem.
I'm from RC Projects, I'm from Brooklyn, and this has been a part of my life. You know, if someone commits a crime, they should go to jail. But these things are just disproportionate, and the whole world knows it.
Yeah, and they are thinking big. Listen, they put together a very high-powered group, as you see. Van Jones is going to be the CEO. He's been working on this for over 20 years. He said this started as a buddy movie, and now we are the Avengers. And that's what they want to do. They said there are close to 5 million people who are living under these, you know, what they call harsh, ridiculous rules, and they hope to reduce that by 1 million in the next 5 years. They are very serious about this.
Powerful lineup, as you pointed out.
It was a very powerful lineup. And every time, whenever anybody spoke, it was even more compelling, one over the next over the next.
And it's been so hard to get change in so many different things. But in this instance with criminal justice, these ground-up movements have really changed things, gotten legislation to pass, changed people's lives. It's one place if you're looking for hope and change. It's
Michael Rubin said it best, I thought. You know, there were many very powerful statements, but he said there are 2 Americas. He said, I had no idea until I met Meek Mill and started talking to Meek Mill. Jay-Z and Meek Mill will tell you, well, for us, this is Thursday. You know, this is a world we know. But for many people, it was very eye-opening. And they had politicians and state attorney generals in the office. Josh Shapiro from Pennsylvania was there, who were also working on this cause.
Nicely done.
It's very important. I think change is on the way with this. I hope so. I hope so.